other big story we are talking about. India today told Pakistan to mind its own business after Islamabad summoned India's Sharia affairs on the hijab controversy at the Udupi Women's Pre-University College. Pakistan has an obnoxious track record on treatment of Sikh, Christian and Hindu minorities, from abduction, rape and forced conversion of minority women to desecration of places of worship and crimes against the minorities. The question arises, is the hijab controversy a part of an elaborate toolkit? From Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai, she's reacted to this, as have Pakistan's ministers and Manchester United's Paul Pogba.
Temples in Pakistan desecrated. Hindu, Sikh, Christian women abducted, forcibly converted and compelled to marry older Muslim men. Minority traders shot dead in broad daylight. Despite a series of attacks on Hindu, Sikh and Christian minorities in Pakistan, and bigots and terrorists celebrated even by the civil society, Pakistan raised the Karnataka Hijab controversy, summoning a top Indian diplomat in Islamabad. Pakistan, in a desperate bid to interfere in India's internal affairs, has decided to observe the Hijab Solidarity Day on Friday.
जुमातुल मुबारक 11 जो फरवरी है, परसों पूरे मुल्क के अंदर यौम यकजहती जो है दुख्तरान हिंद, हिंदुस्तान की मजलूम बहनों के साथ, मुसलमानों के साथ, अक़लियतों के साथ यौम यकजहती का दिन मनाया जाए.
India's chargé d'affaires Suresh Kumar refuted all allegations levelled by the Pakistan Foreign Office over the Karnataka hijab controversy. India called Pakistan's charges baseless and told Pakistan to look within and check its own track record. Union Minorities Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi also hit out at Pakistan.
अब कुछ लोगों ने ये ठान रखा है कि यूनिफॉर्म पर मिस इन्फॉर्म करने का कम्युनल कंपटीशन और क्रिमिनल कंपटीशन करेंगे, तो उनमें मजे की बात यह है कि यहाँ पर कुछ लोग जो है उस कंपटीशन का हिस्सेदार भागीदार हैं और उधर पाकिस्तान है.
India asked Pakistan to look within first, where on February 2nd in Sindh, a Hindu businessman was shot dead in the Anaj Mandi. On 30th January in Peshawar, a Christian priest was shot dead after a Sunday mass. On 2nd January in Balochistan, again a Hindu trader was murdered in Las Villa. AIMIM Member of Parliament and barrister Asaduddin Owaisi also hit out at the Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai and also on Pakistan for their doublespeak and uncalled for interference in India's internal affairs.
पाकिस्तान से हम बताना चाह रहे हैं कि मलाला पर हमला पाकिस्तान में हुआ था, मलाला वहां से नहीं पड़ी तो उसको बरतानिया जाना पड़ा. ये हमारी बच्चियां यहाँ पर रहेंगी, इज्जत से रहेंगी और पढ़ेंगी और नेक और काबिल बनेंगी. हम पाकिस्तान के लोगों से कहेंगे इधर मत देखो, उधर ही देखो.
The Bharatiya Janata Party hit out at Pakistan for using the hijab controversy to divert attention from Imran Khan's failures.
Same Pakistan that has no track record to speak of on human rights, on women's rights. The same Pakistan which tortures Ahmadiyas, Baluchis, Shias, Hindus, Sikhs. It tortures women, doesn't give them any space, doesn't allow them to get educated, and is now getting an opportunity to lecture India on these issues.
However, shameless Pakistan is set to observe Hijab Solidarity Day on Friday. With Geeta Mohan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
You know, Pakistan is observing this hijab solidarity quite like it observes this so-called Kashmir solidarity. You know, they stand up for half an hour and then they go home. That is all that they can do. But what gives them the locus standi anyways on either? Joining me, Mona Alam is a journalist from Pakistan. Vikram Singh is former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police, and Ambassador Ashok Sajjanhar. And Ambassador, I want to begin by asking you, does this appear to be a hijab toolkit? Create a controversy, get people like Malala Yousafzai to comment, get Pakistan's ministers to comment, get more rent-a-tweet activists to fan the fire.
Yes, Gaurav, from the face of it, it does look what you have mentioned, that it is manufactured controversy. It's a manufactured outrage because you mentioned Malala Yousafzai and what she has said. So just to give a few instances, in her own book, she has spoken out very articulately against the hijab as to how it is sort of completely removes a woman from any contact with the outside world. Also, there are so many issues, problems around the world, whether it is the oppression of the Uyghur Muslims in China, whether it is what is happening in Pakistan itself in terms of not only against the minorities, whether it is Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, etc., but it is also the Ahmadiyyas, the
Shias, absolutely, the Dawoodi Bohras, absolutely.
So many of them. She doesn't say anything about any of them. And here in a state of India, out of the 29 states, one state of India and 2 or 3 educational institutions, that becomes important for her to send out this message.
No, so what this is a toolkit is what you're indicating. Mona Alam, the question is, what is Pakistan's locus standi? Look at the way you treat minorities in your country. Barrister Asaduddin Owaisi, AIMIM Member of Parliament in India, he's given you an apt response. Don't poke your nose in India's internal affairs. Protect your minorities. Malala Yousafzai couldn't complete her education in Pakistan, lives overseas, keeps quiet about atrocities in Pakistan, and comments on India. What is she? Rent a court?
That's very sad, Gaurav. You're talking about a Nobel laureate, and she advocates rights for women in Pakistan just as much as she has slammed India for this treatment of this young girl, Muskan.
Right. She criticizes, hijab and niqab and burqa in Pakistan, but advocates it for women in India. So do you? Do you?
She doesn't. No. You don't understand what the problem is. This basic understanding being flawed is my problem indeed as well. Because, I am one of the most vocal opponents of mistreatment of religious minorities or women here in my country. But that doesn't take away or that doesn't divert the attention from this Karnataka Hijab row that has happened. It's about a woman. If she wants to take a hijab, it's her personal choice. These men,
that just shows how poor your information system, unless you are part of the same toolkit. And I'm not saying this, to demean anything. My only point is, any woman is free to wear a hijab across the length and breadth of our country, except in educational institutions where schools will decide what that uniform is. Schools will decide, unless you want to study in a minority institution, be that as it may.
She can very well abide by whatsoever the uniform or the school dress is, but that doesn't mean if she wants to put a veil on her face, that may be due to her religious inclination, and you've got to respect it. This is plain and simple.
School will decide. Pakistan will not decide. Malala Yousafzai will not decide. That has to be very clear. What happens in a school in India will be decided by the school management and not by a bigoted Pakistan, is what I want to make very clear on a broadcast. Just look after your own women and look after your own minorities first. And seriously, when your Prime Minister has the guts to talk about Uyghur Muslims truly being ill-treated by China, then you have a right to speak and not before. But Dr. Vikram Singh, my question is far more serious. Does this appear orchestrated to you? A campaign. Suddenly, in December 2021, a controversy is created. Udupi school management has told India Today just today that these Muslim girls till December 2021 had no problems following rules. Year after year, there are pictures of no hijab in school pictures in school book. Suddenly a high-octane controversy is created and Malala Yousafzai reacts, Pakistan's foreign minister reacts. Who knows, tomorrow that porn star Mia Khalifa will react, and who else will react? Dr. Vikram Singh, you're on mute, sir.
Articulated it very, very well in your opening remarks that there are activists for hire and are available for a price, and there are causes also. I am a chancellor of a university where everybody is welcome with the burqa, with the hijab, wherever, no questions asked. It is open to all, and there are students from 30 universities. But when I was in the police, we talk of Article 1925. There are dress and uniform regulations. You jolly well abide by, otherwise I did not invite you to join the police. If you join the police, there are dress regulations and you have to abide by the dress regulations. If you choose to have certain other things that do not conform to the dress regulations, then police is not your profession. There are any number of professions open to you. Please go there. But once you are here, I have dismissed people from service who put on their vermilion marks or the Chandan remarks on the parade ground. We have a system. How long can we grow the beard? Whether we can put the caste marks or not, whether we can put the hijab or not. The dress regulations are sacred and sacrosanct. Yes. Just as your rights are sacred, the right of the institution, the right of the department is also sacred. They also are covered. It is not that your fundamental rights are more sacred than my sacred.
And everybody knows this. Everybody knows facts. And yet, Ambassador Sajjanhar, a controversy is created. There is this attempt to show that there is a Hindu-Muslim divide, and a bigoted country like Pakistan tries to intervene through these Malala Yousafzais. And of course, I mean, I'm still waiting, Ambassador Sajjanhar, on Republic Day, when Red Fort was targeted, from a porn star to a singer, toolkit activists were activated. Government's assessment that time was it was a coordinated attack on our country. In your appreciation, is this 2.0 of the same toolkit?
Absolutely, I would tend to agree with you. And at that time we came to know that this pop star Rihanna, who had tweeted in favor of the farmers, she was paid $2.5 million, and what you said very right in the beginning, that these can be these so-called celebrities, icons. I think if people have been given, some of them have been given Nobel laureates, it doesn't give them carte blanche to say anything and that they will be accepted, their words will be accepted, their voice will be accepted. As our other panelist on this program is saying, that if she's a Nobel laureate, it doesn't make her, what she's pronouncing as biblical truth. We know that it is being very, very selective. On the other side, in your own book, you write that this is, hijab is oppressive.
Yes.
As far as Afghanistan is concerned, when the Taliban is trying to impose hijab on the women, then you say, no, there shouldn't be any hijab, there should not be any imposition. Here, till 2 months, 1 month, 1.5 months ago,
yes,
everyone was coming without hijab, there was no problem. You see, schools are sacrosanct, and their uniforms have to be respected.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the point. And anyway, it's an internal matter. It's an internal matter. Our school management will decide. We have very robust systems, Mona. We're a democracy. We have robust systems in place, whether it's our media, whether it's courts of law, whether it's civil society. We will decide. Your country claims to be vocal about Muslims, but respond. Every guest here says Imran Khan doesn't have the guts to talk about Uyghur Muslims or Shias in your own country because you need those $5 billion from China. You will not open your mouth. So, it's almost like put billions of dollars in your mouth and you forget all about Islam and Uyghur Muslims. So it's not Islam. Money is your religion.
Look, your Modi, your Prime Minister, has also paid numerous visits to China. He's also been ruling for the same money, right?
No, we are not ruling from this for the same money. No, that's very flawed understanding. No. Katora Khan is your Prime Minister's name, but I'm not getting personal here. Our Modi, yes, he is. He is our Modi. He's our Prime Minister. We are very proud to have a Prime Minister like Narendra Modi, but that's not the point here. That's not the point here. The point is, if we have to speak about Hindus, we speak about Hindus across the world. If you have to speak about Muslims, I mean, I don't know what's your locus, but if you do, then speak about Uyghur Muslims. वहाँ वो $5 billion आपके मुंह में डाल देते हैं, आप चुप हो जाते हैं. तो मतलब बाप बड़ा ना भैया सबसे बड़ा RMB in your
मैं भी यही कह रही हूँ ना कि आपकी राल टपक रही है तो आपको बुरा
नहीं,
लगता है।
हमारी तो लार नहीं टपक रही, हमारी तो नहीं, हम तो गर्व से बोलते हैं, हम गर्व से बोलते हैं, हम भारतीय हैं, हम एक स्ट्रॉन्ग कंट्री है, हम पाकिस्तान की तरह घुटने पर भीख मांगने कहीं नहीं जाते।
दिस इज इन्वेस्टमेंट, दिस इज नो लोन, दिस इज इन्वेस्टमेंट, दिस इज व्हाट यू कॉल इट. Investment is something very practical and very highly economical. I mean, this is not.
There is no investment in Pakistan. Remember Imran Khan, Dasu Dam, when that incident happened, they've demanded some millions of dollars back from you, and you don't have those millions of dollars. So the investment means you will sell away Gwadar to China, or you will sell away Gilgit and Baltistan. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The bigger point is Dr. Vikram Singh, and this is where it becomes extremely critical. There appears to be an ecosystem in our own country that is a part of this toolkit. How does one proceed against this ecosystem legally, evidence-based prosecution and action?
Obviously, in your opening show, you were working against a journalist. You told about how the ED had gone after her in the sense that there was ill-gotten wealth. It is very easy and simple. You got this and you were successful as far as the CA agitation was concerned. You identified the toolkit mongers. You also identified organizations like the PFI who got donations of 120 crores to orchestrate the anti-CA agitation and also fund a part of the farmers' agitation. And then I would say that this is something new that has happened, but rest assured our agencies are fully empowered and have the professional competence to nail all the toolkit orchestra players and those who have the remote in their hands. And it's only a matter of time before they are unmasked and placed before the people so that they stand exposed and named and shamed. It is only a matter of time. And I have no doubt in my mind that the CBI, ED, IB and RAW will get after them.
Okay, because this appears to be very well orchestrated, Ambassador Sajjanhar. There are elements within the country, there are elements beyond the borders, and not just restricted to a failed state Pakistan. I mean, if it was only a failed state Pakistan, I wouldn't be worried. This ecosystem appears to be global, targeting our country relentlessly. I have the last 30 seconds, Ambassador Sajjanhar.
Yes, absolutely. You're very right. And I think we really have to go after it in terms of, I think what we've seen from the Karnataka High Court, that is, use all methods of law, use all methods of policing in terms of ED, IB, NIA, etc., all of them. And I think also tell our own parties that they should not use these aspects for political purposes as far as national security and national image is concerned.
Yes.
These will be used to defame us, disparage us. But these are areas where they should not go. There are so many other
Don't
areas
become tools in the hands of foreign forces that may want to weaken our country or divide our people, because very clearly, as foreigners will very, very clearly see, given the robust systems in our country, India stands united and every Indian keeps India first. And those who don't, then perhaps the law should take its own course. Mona Alam, as always, many thanks for joining me. Ambassador Sajjanhar and Dr. Vikram Singh, many thanks for joining me. I need to slip into a quick break here. RBI Governor warns against cryptocurrencies. You must watch that India Today special. Abha Bakaya with Business Today on the other side. Stay with us.